Hey everyone, welcome to Deanna Creates. So in today's video, we are going to be playing with Faber Castell Gelatos. So if you saw my previous video where I shared some of my favorite art and mixed media supplies, I briefly talked about these as well as the new pastel set that I got for Christmas. So I wanted to come on here today and share with you guys some of the ways that I like to use gelatos. So the first thing that I wanted to point out to you is these are water soluble. So the color, to get the color, you activate that with water. And so you move the color around with water. A really important tip is if you really want your color to move around really smoothly on your surface, then you need to prep that surface with gesso. You can use clear gesso, you can use the white gesso if you're using a white cardstock or surface. But what that does is it gives it some tooth. It gives it something to adhere to and something that will allow you to like move it around. So let me show you a couple examples of that. So here I have a tag, and this started out just plain manila tag, just like this, and I gessoed one side and I left the other side just normal of the tag. This is what it looks like with the gesso on it. You can see how the color is just smooth. I just put my gelatos down and I used a baby wipe and I just kind of moved that color around. This side is without the gesso. And so you can see that you can tell where this is where I put the gelato down. And this is very pretty, but it just doesn't allow you to move the color as much. Here's another example of this. This side right here is without gesso. And again, you can kind of see some of the darker spots. And then this side is with gesso. So it really depends what kind of look you're looking for when you're creating with these gelatos, but I did want to just make sure that I pointed that out in case you start to play with them and you're like, well gosh, why is my color not moving, or why did hers look like this, or whatever. That's why. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of show you that in action. So I have a tag here. Again, I've already prepped this side with the gesso and I've left this side blank. So we're going to start here with this side. And I will tell you that when you do put the gesso onto your surface, it's going to give it a different texture. And that, again, that's just part of the purpose of gesso, is that tooth and that ability to move your color around. So just know that it's gonna feel a little different. So these are really easy to use, and this is why they're one of my favorite mediums. I really like to use them on backgrounds, whether that's on a canvas in my art journal. I especially like them when I am making homemade cards because they're quick and they're easy and they make really beautiful color. Gelatos do take a little bit of time to dry, but the impact again is just really pretty. So the way that you use these is you just take and you just put down a little bit of color, just kind of randomly onto your tag or your surface. And again, this is the gessoed side, and you can see they're just like crayons. I mean, that's what they look like. And then there are two ways that you can do it. You can take just a paintbrush with some water and you can start to move it around with the water like so. And they blend just beautifully together as the colors come together. I mean, it's just really gorgeous. They don't really get muddy. I mean, they would if you used, colors that don't really go together, but. And so that is with that is just using them with the paintbrush. But another thing that I like to use with them is a baby wipe. So let me kind of show you how that looks. And you really kind of do the same thing. You're just moving it around with the baby wipe. Now, because of the tooth on there from the gesso, you can kind of, it makes kind of a scratchy sound. But you can see it's just moving that color just really, really beautifully onto the tag. And you can go over it. Of course, the baby wipe makes it a little softer because, of course, it's picking up some of the color. And if you want to add more color to it, you know, you're like, man, I didn't want all that to pick up. You can just add some more of your gelato to it. And then again, just get your paintbrush and then just start blending it back in. So they're really, really easy. And look at just the beautiful color that this makes. It's just incredible. It's just so vibrant and pretty, and I mean, I just really, really love it. And so you just play around with it just to get it however it is that you know, that you like it onto your whatever you're making. And you know, as you're making these types of things and you're playing around with it, you know, keep these and put them in your art journal, or, you know, add them to a card or a canvas, or, you know, if there's something that you're like, well, I'm not sure, but it doesn't go to waste that way. And so the next thing that I want to show you is how it does on a surface that's not gessoed. So again, this is just a piece of watercolor paper, just like this one. I just cut it in half. And so I'm going to show you this side here that's not gessoed and how that looks onto that. And then we will play with some of the new colors just so you can see them. I'm using these because these are really vibrant, and I knew that you guys could see them really well on camera. These new ones they're pretty soft, which I'm really excited about. All right, so we can take our baby wipe and we can move that around, and you're going to be able to see right away how it doesn't move. It doesn't move near the same. Even with our paintbrush, it just doesn't move in the same way. You can see where you put the gelato down. It just doesn't blend the way that it does when you have that gesso on there. And like I said, it's still very pretty and it makes a really nice look. But just something that you need to know. So you can see how it just it's not moving. So you can tell a difference. But again, like I said, it's still as pretty. And again, we can do the same thing, and we can add some more to this and come back with it. And so this is something, like I said, I'll just keep this and I'll use this in a project or in my art journal, stamp on top of it or something like that. So that's how it looks without the gesso. You saw it in action there. So then another thing that I wanted to show you is how to use a stencil with this. So I have a stencil, and this is the one that I just did. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my stencil right down here on this tag. And I'm going to take a baby wipe, and I'm just going to start to pull away part of this. I'm just like wiping over the top of my stencil. And this makes a really, really neat effect. And so when you pull the stencil up, then you have like more kind of dimension or so onto the tag. Isn't that really neat? So you can have just tons of fun with this. Just play around and see what you like to do, you know, how it works for you. They're just really fun to play and experiment with. And so another quick thing that I want to show you is stamping with the gelatos. So I have just a little stamp here. This is just a little, it's just a little bird stamp that I have. And I'm going to just take my gelato and I'm going to just go over the top surface of my stamp to get that color on there. This birdie, he is so cute. He's got a little flower in his mouth. Now, if you remember, we talked about how it is water soluble. So you need to make sure that the surface where you're going to put your stamp is wet. So I'm just going to take my paintbrush and I'm just going to kind of go back over just a little part of this here where I'm going to put this stamp. So it will be wet. Depending on how much water you put will depend what kind of stamp impression that you get with this. Of course, if it's too watery, it's going to be more smudgy looking. But you can see there how it looks with the stamp. And it's so cute. So, again, just lots of fun things that you can do with these for really quick and easy things. And you can see how gorgeous the backgrounds are. And you can layer these and just do all kinds of things. So what I want to do now is I want to show you these new colors. I mean, look at these, you guys. They are gorgeous, just gorgeous. But because they're paler, I want to make sure that you can see them. So this is called watermelon. And I'm just going to go down with each of them and show you the colors. They're really soft and just really pretty. I'm going to make a palette with these, so I will put all the colors that are in here. But I just want you guys to see them so you can know if you're looking at this set or thinking you want it, you'll be able to see what they look like. I'm going to put them back in there. I like keeping them in the tray to keep them organized, but oh, you guys, they're so pretty. I think this one's buttercream. These ones I have here that I have, these are the older ones. I've had these for many, many years, and they don't have the names of them on there. All right, so this is what these pastel ones look like. So we're just gonna we're just going to activate them a little bit just so that you can see the color, in case that you're wanting to get some and trying to decide what you know, color sets you want. Now this is a gesso. I did put gesso on this before. Oh gosh, y'all, they're so pretty. They're very soft. Very, very soft. Perfect for spring and Easter for sure. You guys, you can also use these gelatos to color in coloring books. Like I said, I really like to use them with cards and backgrounds. So there is what the pastel colors look like. They're just really, really soft, so you can tell it's a definite, you know, a definite difference in colors. But they have lots of different sets of these, lots of different colors. They've got metallics, they've got iridescents. So if you want to try some, you know, you have a wide variety of things that you can try. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, just be sure to leave me that in the comments, and I'll do my best to try to get them all answered for you. And I hope you guys do give these a try, and they're just really, really fun. So as always, I appreciate you guys. Love and light to you all, and we'll see you real soon.